go.
Okay.
And we have 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And good morning, everybody. It's welcome to our Garlan podcast. It's our first show, and we're grateful for this opportunity again. And Redcup podcast is
What's in the red cup?
what's in the red cup.
Yes, tell me. What's in the red cup?
This morning's coffee in the red cup, big fella.
Okay.
Cold. I got my hoodie on, and temperature dropped, and so we're just excited right now for this podcast. And first and foremost, we give praise to the Almighty God for giving us the wherewithal to do this. And how you feel, Brother P? How you feel this morning?
You know what? This is a glorious morning because I've really been looking forward to our podcast. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about a lot of subjects, and then I'm just excited to get started. We put this in development, and the day has arrived. So this is a glorious day for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. And a lot of it is we want to bring some enlightenment, some joy, if you will. I mean, we're in the middle of this pandemic, and it's just been pressed upon me and you to do this and to again bring some sort of enlightenment and some sort of culture or whatever to our listening audience, and hopefully they can learn from it.
And bring some positivity. There's so much negative that's going on in the world today. We want to be lighthearted. We got to bring some fun back into the world.
Yeah.
Because day after day after day, all we hear about is negativity. But this show going to be about positivity. Going to be about fun, enjoyment, and talk about issues, but in more of a lighthearted way, not in an attacking way or a derogatory way.
Right. And then, by the way, we're on live through Riverside FM, and we thank them for this platform to do this. So live on Riverside FM. We also live on YouTube and Twitter as we speak, and of course Facebook, which is our largest listening audience. But we want to give a shout out first and foremost to our executive producer. Without him, we wouldn't have a lot of things that we have, and he's kind of the brains behind the outfit of sorts. He's responsible for our shirts, our T-shirts here, and yep, and we have nice coffee mugs and gifts and that kind of thing already, and we're going to give those out to our guests. And at some point, we're going to have a shop to where you can actually purchase some of the items that we're going to have. So we want to shout out to Mr. David Walker for 22 Design Studio for giving us all these things and the brains behind the outfit. Make sure our graphics are up, our website, all those things. Dave, we salute you, Dave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He works midnights on his second job. I don't know if he's listening right now. Hopefully he is. And so if he is, and Dave, all kudos to you, man. We appreciate you, and we look forward to working with you further. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we can be. You can locate us on our website. We do have a website right now. It's at theredcuppodcast.com. It's called theredcuppodcast.com. And also social media sites, of course, it's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They all are at Garlan Podcast. If you go to our website, that information is on there. So again, we're on all 3 social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Garlan Podcast. So, hopefully, you'll continue to follow us. And again, we got a lot of great shows lined up, and we are really looking forward to serving you, the public, because that's what we are. It's not about us, it's about us serving you and give you the information. And again, like Paul said, have some fun with this. So,
Yes.
anything else you want to add to that, Brother P?
Just all the people are a lot of knowledgeable people, and when you come to our show to spit that wisdom to the people in the world that need it, we're gonna send you back with something nice.
Yeah.
Whether it's T-shirt, whether the coffee mug. We appreciate you coming on the show, and we got to show our appreciation back to you.
Right.
So feel free to, you have all the information. If you want to come on the show, be sure to get in contact with us with your subject.
Right. And speaking on that, probably not this show because it's our first one, but all the ensuing shows going forward, there is a live link that I will give you that'll be on our website. We'll let you know what that show is that you can call in, and we have 5 call-ins. Again, with us kind of launching today, it's a lot of things happening going forward. As we know, we got the election coming up. We're going to be talking about that here in our next show. But today, as part of this show, is our introductory show. We're in the middle of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And here in the next few minutes, here about 10:30, we're going to have Gretchen Awad, and she's from the Susan G. Komen Cancer Foundation. She'll be coming on live, and we're going to actually talk about breast cancer, what the Susan G. Komen Foundation is all about, and just give you some information, men and women. It's not just for the women, it's for men as well. And also, we're going to talk about Rock Your Vote. And that'll be the last segment of our show where we're going to talk about the voting process. We got a lot of excitement generated about the vote. And we just want to enlighten you on some of the history, if you will, behind voting, okay? And a lot of people don't think their vote counts, but it does. Do you agree, Brother Paul?
Oh, well, without a doubt. If your vote didn't count, I want you to remember this, everybody that's listening. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't be trying to suppress it. Just that alone, they wouldn't be trying to get you not to vote. That's just how important our votes are. So we know this is the most important election we've ever had to vote in. What you got to do, plan for it, but get out and vote. That's your power.
Right. Yep. And so in saying that, we're going to talk about that again in the last segment of our show. But if you got any questions at all today, we do field questions. And if you go on our website, our Facebook page. Our Facebook page at Garlan Podcast, and write your questions in, and we will do our best to answer as many as we can. We probably won't, if everybody gets excited and we get about 20 of them, we may not can answer all 20, but we might, especially live on the show, but we'll be answering them. We're not going to leave any question undone. So if we don't get to it live, we will answer it, okay, in a timely fashion back to you. So you have that. And again, if you want to ask any question, go on our Facebook page at Garlan Podcast, and you'll see, just answer that question there, or ask a question, and again, we'll get to it. Okay. There's a lot of other things too behind our broadcast that's forthcoming, and just like anything, when you do this type of platform, there might be some audio or visual interruptions. Where I live, and I live in Toledo, Ohio, I live right around the corner from the University of Toledo. A lot of students in this area, and so with them being on the same time that we might be on, there might be some interference. So if there is some interference, our broadcast will still go live. We'll still keep rolling. One of us have to blink off, it'll still go. That's just how technology is. A lot of shows that you see on TV are going to this format. Everything. I mean, from sports. I mean, they have the draft. The draft is virtual. So this virtual format is something uh, that's going on right now. And so, if there's any type of interference, whatever, stick with us. We'll come back. It's just like anything else. As we go forward here, also, um, we're coming into the holiday season. Yes, it's kind of funny. That's in October. Now we get into November, and then we get into you're gonna be talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's going to be upon us and everything. So we're going to be discussing a lot of things in regards to our safety and the do's and don'ts, and also we're going to be talking about what does the holidays mean to you personally. We're going to have segments on that. Brother Paul, you want to kind of talk about that?
Yeah. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And this 2020, this year of 2020, we've seen a lot of people that's no longer here. Right? So I think the whole month of November, should be a month of
Right.
Thanksgiving. Right? Just we have to be thankful, have that sense of gratitude that God has spared us and we're still living. We're in the midst of a pandemic. This holiday season is going to be a totally different holiday season. For December, I think the focus should be not just on gifts, but on the birth of Christ, who was born to die for our sin. Again, I just want the people out there to think about that. I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but this year, 2020, has been just a devastating year. So think about the holidays in a little different way this year.
Right.
This is what I ask of you.
Right. And again, we get our show by us every 2 weeks, by the way. We're bi-weekly right now on Saturdays from 10 to 11. And so we won't have another show until 2 weeks from now, which will actually be November 7th. And again, because we're just starting out and we're on this platform, we go bi-weekly. And so as we go forward and get into the holiday seasons, it's personal. And it's really personal now, again, being in the middle of this pandemic. And we want to really hear from you. And that'll give you a chance to come on our show and give some testimony and that kind of thing. That's what we're going to be doing in the influence shows toward the end of November and in December. And we're going to have some stuff for you in between all of that, but just kind of let you know as we go forward here in the next couple of months, that is what we're going to be talking about. And we want to get you involved, okay? And Paul and I, we can talk all day, but we like our audience to be engaged. Okay, our show is not a controversial show. We're gonna have some takes, okay. And as a matter of fact, let me do my disclaimer right now that anything that we say in terms of our own views are not the viewpoints of Riverside FM or anybody that's affiliated with giving us this platform to speak. So whatever our views are our own, okay. And again, but we're not controversial. We're not. You have some shows out there and stuff that. They be cussing and all that stuff, and we're not about all of that. Okay, we're about positivity. We're about spirituality. That's what we're about. And again, anybody out there in the audience that knows me knows that I can be a little silly. Okay, so there's going to be some satire going forward. There's going to be some things that you're going to hear in our next shows with laughter and that kind of stuff. And it's just so funny. I was hoping to get my other piece of equipment, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic and all, I couldn't get my hands on it, so I had to order it. And so now with it being ordered, like everything else, you got to wait. And so I should have it next week. And so going forward, You're going to hear more sound effects and that kind of thing. And that's kind of where Dave Walker comes in, our executive producer, because he is the one that puts all that stuff in. So you're going to see a little bit different format, if you will, in our next show. But just to let you know, it's going to be a lot more satire, but we're not a controversial show. We're not like that. Okay. To where, we got people calling in and cussing us out. No, we don't. That's not what we're all about.
We're gonna talk about serious issues.
Oh yeah.
But there's a way you can talk about it without out of control anger.
Right.
Some things, it's going to be very upsetting, and we're not going to be afraid to tackle issues that is affecting our people. We will, but we can do it with a sense of maturity and a sense of reduced anger.
Right.
So we're gonna want to hear what's going on with you out there. We have a high profile on the social platforms. Get in contact with us, to let us know what you might want to have for us to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
But by no means are we not gonna shy away from what's important to our people.
Right.
But we're just gonna do it in a more laid back way.
Right. Decent and in order. That's what we do. Okay. And saying that, and again, our website is theredcuppodcast.com. I'll probably say it about 5 more times before the show ends. Theredcuppodcast.com is our website. We are actually, and again, we're at our beginning point, but we do understand that we have listeners that are not on the Facebook or social media platform. And so in the months to come, we will be on iHeartRadio, and I can never think of the other one, Paul. iTunes. Okay.
iTunes.
And I got, wait a minute, what's so fun? I got Apple everything. And how come I can't think of iTunes? I cannot think of iTunes to save my life. But we're on iTunes. We're going to iTunes, iHeartRadio. Those are the next 2 that we're looking to launch our podcast from here in the next month, probably after the first of the year. Right now, again, we're getting our feet wet a little bit. And again, we thank Riverside FM for allowing us to have this platform and to bring this podcast to you. Yes.
We are experienced though. We've done this before. We've had shows before. Yeah. So we are vets.
Yeah.
But we just have to get used to Riverside FM.
Right.
But we're not beginners, so you're gonna get some strong shows that's gonna be of help to you as you move forward in your personal and business life.
Yes. And right now we got a couple bills to pay. We do have some advertisements, some very good businesses here that we want to recognize at this point. And one personally for me, we have a business. My daughter-in-law has a business for my grandsons, and it's called Movies on the Go LLC, and it is an 18-foot inflatable theater, and it's great for birthday parties, family movie nights, sporting events. She's done very, very well up to this point. Her flyers on our website, again, theredcuppodcast.com is our website. Movies on the Go LLC, 18-foot movie theater, great for birthday parties, family movie nights, sporting events, and much more. She's done backyard parties. She's done stuff in schools. So Movies on the Go is your mobile movie theater. And again, you can find more information on our website, theredcuppodcast.com. Paul, I think you got one as well.
Yes, in today's pandemic, it's very important that we have to keep our immune system.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that we do it is with tea.
Yes.
And my advertisement goes out to Tiffany with the tea. And this is a detox tea that boosts your immune system, it cleanses your vital organs, and it burns fat. It's a great supplement for your body, especially during this pandemic. We need to get in the best health that we can, and Tiffany with the tea is something that will help you get in the type of health that where you can fight any and everything that's coming your way. So you can get this tea today. Tiffany with the tea is on her contact information is on our website. So please go to our website, check it out. Remember, it's Tiffany with the tea.
And if I can just do a little piggyback with that, I use Tiffany with the tea every time I work out, and it really has helped me in my weight loss journey, and I highly recommend it. So again, like Paul just said, go to our website, the redcuppodcast.com. Like I said, I've said it about 50,000 times. So you go to our website. Yes.
Hey, brother, I got a question for you. Question for you. You know I'm working out every day. We talk about it all the time. Why haven't I tasted this Tiffany with the tea?
You got to buy
it. Tell me about it first. I want some of that now.
It's made with ginger, turmeric, honey, and other natural. Right. And I'm telling you, and she's down there. I'm in Toledo. You there with her? You can you can drive a couple hours to pick it up.
She's here in the D. She's in the D. And I don't have no Tiffany with the tea yet. Okay, Tiffany, if you're looking at this, I will be calling you today. So I got to get me some Tiffany with the tea.
Tiffany with the tea,
especially with it burn fat.
Right.
Yes.
Don't get it mixed up with the tea and the T, TEA. T is her first name.
TEA.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Make sure y'all.
So listeners, is one thing that we're gonna do. If we're gonna promote you, we're gonna use the product too. That's guaranteed. We're gonna use it too.
Yeah.
So, all right, brother.
So, and lastly, before and our guest will be on here in the next 5 minutes. As we go on too, we're going to be talking about healthy bodies during this pandemic, because it's vitally important that you keep your body healthy. One of the most important things, and I know they close gyms and that kind of thing, but if you exercise, exercising helps boost your immune system, and so we're going to be talking about the wellness and that kind of thing in the upcoming shows here, probably before the end of the year, because it's really important. And I say that because, yes, Lord, Thanksgiving, y'all know what y'all going to do. Sweet potato pie, red velvet cake. And I ain't got to the food part yet. I'm talking about dessert. Caramel cake. Peach cobbler. I can go on and on and on. Okay. Now the food. Okay, turkey is pretty good for you. Okay. It's what you put on the turkey is what gets it. The gravy. Then you got greens. Man, I'm saying all this, man, I'm making myself hungry, man. I gotta drink some, man, what?
Don't forget the dressing. My take on this is that we're gonna really help you on how to deal with stress. Because we all know that stress suppresses the immune system. Right. So, you got to have, especially in 2020 and everything, the pandemic, high unemployment, the election coming up, all the negativity that we hear on a daily basis that can trigger those inner stresses. Stress suppresses the immune system. So we have to learn coping skills. All right. And that's one thing that we're going to touch base on probably on a weekly basis with some form of remark to where we can help teach you and teach us ourselves coping skills on how to lower the level of stress, right? Because we don't need anything suppressing our immune systems.
Yes. Again, vitally important. We don't know when this pandemic is going to end. We hope and pray that it ends soon. But until then, we have to know how to get through this, okay? And again, that's kind of one of the things why this broadcast was put together. And a lot of people, y'all might be wondering, well, how y'all come up with that name? How y'all come up with Garlan? Okay. Very, very simple. Okay. Garwood, that's Mr. Paul Garwood. So you took the first three letters of his last name. Mine is Lanier. So you took the last three letters of my last name. Okay. And we put Garlan. Garland is actually a name, if you will. Okay. And it has a nice flow to it, and so that's how we came up with the name. Okay. The Red Cup was kind of a happenstance. We were just going to be originally the Garland Variety Podcast. The Red Cup is a zinger in there. My graduating class, we have our Zoom meetings. And once we have our Zoom meetings and that kind of thing, we always have a Red Cup. So that's kind of how the Red Cup came. Okay. So that's how it's the Garland Redcup Variety Podcast. I'm gonna end it right there, and I see our guests have come on, and this is Gretchen Awad.
Yes.
And good morning, Gretchen. It's good to see you. Good to meet you. We talked on the phone.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Gretchen is part.
I'm
yes.
Early. I'm too excited.
And Gretchen is. yes. Gretchen is here in Toledo with me. I think Gretchen, you're right around the corner from me here in Toledo. She's at the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. And again, we're so glad to have you on our show and talk about breast cancer. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about the Susan G. Komen Foundation?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to help spread the good word of Susan G. Komen during October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So thank you again for having me. And I love the story of Komen because it's a story that we can all relate to. It's a story that started about family and love. It's a story of one sister, Nancy Brinker, who loved and cared for her sister, Susie Komen, while she was dying of breast cancer at a very young age, and ended up leaving two small children because she died so early of breast cancer. And this was years ago. We didn't talk openly about breast health, and you didn't hear the word breast on TV. So Nancy really made it her life's mission to help other women not have to go through that and not have to suffer that disease in what should not be such a silence. So the Susan G. Komen Foundation was born, and we're so proud to be part of our local community for the past 27 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for...
Really
Yes. Paul, you have a question?
Yes. Gretchen, again, thank you for coming on the show. We truly appreciate it, especially in this month of October. My question is, what are the cancer risk factors, and how important is it for women of all ages to get a mammogram, and what age should a woman start?
First of all, great question. It's so important for women to understand the greatest risk factors of having a breast cancer diagnosis are things we cannot control. The biggest risk factor is being a woman. And the second greatest risk factor is having breast tissue. We have both. So we at the Komen Network always want to make sure that women are advocating for their own self health care, and that they are understanding their bodies and they're understanding their family history. So if you have a direct relative, meaning a mother and a sister or a father or a brother who had breast cancer, you are at greater risk. So there are different ways to look at what the best age to start a mammogram is. American Cancer Society, which has great research and wonderful data, and we support and appreciate their data, recommends if you have no other risk in your family, meaning you have not had a mother or sister, or you do not have a genetic mutation, meaning a BRCA1 gene, which you can be tested for. The best way to start a mammogram is at about the age 40, depending on conversations with your doctor and your insurance benefits and all that stuff. Want to make sure that everyone is on the up and up, and then getting a mammogram every 2 years. Now, if you do have a higher risk factor, meaning you have a mom or a sister, or you've tested positive for that BRCA1 gene, does not mean you will get breast cancer, it just means you have a higher risk, then it's recommended that you start at an earlier age, about 25. Also, if you have dense breast tissue, meaning your breast tissue and your fat tissue is you have greater breast tissue and less fat in your breast. So that's usually younger women. That also increases your risk because it requires a different type of mammogram. So the detection is a little more comprehensive.
Okay. All right. It's good information. Good information. Now there's this growing, increasing number of breast cancer in men. Can you kind of give us some insight on that?
Sure. Men are at risk of getting breast cancer too. Not for the obvious reasons. Obviously, they don't have the risk factor of being a woman, but men have breast tissue. And for women now mind you, it's not as great of a risk. We don't hear that as often. Women are 100 times more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer than a man. So you make no mistake, the risk is greater if you're a woman. But yes, men can get breast cancer too. They have breast tissue. And it's not at top of mind for screening for men to get mammograms. So men, while we might say there's a greater incidence that we're hearing of, it's because maybe they are understanding their bodies and understanding their risk factors and being more proactive with their health care, which while we may think initially hearing a higher incidence rate doesn't sound good, like people being proactive about their health care, we are all for it. So if that makes those numbers increase, it means there's awareness. So we are supportive. Men, know your bodies, know your risk factors, and talk to your healthcare provider. This is nothing to be nervous, ashamed, or feel like you should keep under wraps. If you notice change, same as women, if you notice change in your breast tissue, if you notice a lump that won't go away, a sore that will not heal, changes in your nipple, these are all reasons to talk to your healthcare provider.
Okay. Yeah, that's good advice. Go ahead, Paul.
Can I have a question? Yeah, I came up with 4 sisters, and my mother was a nurse, and I always heard her talk to my sisters about the importance of self-examination and not taking for granted that if you feel a small lump that you just maybe it's something else. But can you explain those self-examinations and
Absolutely.
what they should do?
First of all, kudos to your mom for being so open and talking to your sisters about understanding their bodies. So I love hearing that message, and I love hearing open dialogue between mothers and daughters and family members. Oftentimes we've heard stories of women being diagnosed with breast cancer, and then all of a sudden family members say, well, your grandma had it or an aunt had it, and these women never knew. So they didn't know that they had increased risk factors. So kudos to your mom for being so open and concerned with her family's healthcare. Second of all, young women, as you begin to go to your OB and going for regular doctor's checks, we do recommend that those doctors always perform a breast exam. That's not a mammogram, that's a breast exam. And it's always, again, this goes back to knowing your body and knowing changes in your body. So an exam in the shower, checking all around the breast area, and noticing any lump or even a little pea-size, change in the breast tissue. Those are all important factors. So we say do it all the time, do it often, do it as much as you feel comfortable, and always make sure that that's part of your yearly medical screening as well. And that starts at an early age. That starts at age maybe 25 when you start seeing your doctor for female health care at a younger age.
Right. Okay. Yes. And most importantly, and again, we thank you so much for that insight, Gretchen, but where can one donate to the Susan G. Komen Foundation? What do they have to do to donate?
Well, it's very easy. So you can do it a few ways, but first of all, the donation site and the site to get care or help if you need it are the same. So I want to make sure that everyone knows the Susan G. Komen website. You can just Google search Susan G. Komen and it will pop up. We have Susan G. Komen Northwest Ohio. That will also pop up. 1-877-GO-KOMEN, KOMEN. That's the same number to call to make sure you're getting the health care that you need. If you need additional resources, we have those available. We want to make sure that every woman and men know where to get those, the help that they may need. If you have financial risk, if you have never had a mammogram or a screening and it's not financially able for you, if you have lack of insurance, if you have other economic or lifestyle barriers, we want to make sure that we cover those for you so you can take care of your health needs. First and foremost, please know that 1-877-GO-KOMEN is where you can go to get help. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that. But it's also the number where you can go and donate. So this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And, like everyone with this pandemic, Komen is in the same boat. Unfortunately, when financial crisis hits and more people need help, less help is available. So the irony is not lost on Komen, and it's not lost on any other nonprofit out there struggling during these times as well. So you can very easily donate by using that 1-877-GO-KOMEN number.
Yes. 1-877-GO-KOMEN. That will be on our website. Actually, it's already up on our website, if I'm not mistaken.
Good.
But we will also put that number on there, 1-877-GO-KOMEN. And Gretchen, we thank you so much for your time this morning. And I'm glad we met. And so we're going to be reaching out to you for more information as we go further. And I think this is very, very helpful for our listening audience. And appreciate you being on our show today. And you're going to get a nice gift from us. And we see our T-shirts.
That looks good.
So
well,
so we're gonna send you that. So, and are you a coffee drinker? Do you drink coffee? We'll give you our coffee mug as well. Okay, we have coffee mugs. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you so much, Gretchen, for coming on our show today. And again, we look forward to talking to you. Appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's some good information. And again, this is the end of Breast Cancer Month. And again, we just want to get that into our first show because it is a very, very, it's a big thing. And those self-examinations are very, very important. So as we go forward here, okay, and we got about 20 minutes left, and we want to go to our Rock Your Vote segment. And again, this is a very important segment right now. We are about 10 days away from the election. And while there's anticipation, excitement, there is, you just need to know the voting process, okay? And some of us have already voted early. Some of us have already voted by absentee, me, okay? However you vote, however you vote, your vote is going to count. But I want to kind of bring some stuff to you in regards to the process. Years ago, and I can't pinpoint the exact year, okay, when you voted for the president, it was by a popular vote. Well, things kind of changed. And so now what happens is the governmental officials, if you will, kind of wanted to say, well, hey, we want to have a bigger voice in the voting process. So what they did, they came up with, they called the Electoral College. Now, what the Electoral College is, every state has representatives. Every state has 2 senators. You can have as many representatives in a state as they can have, but there's only 2 senators to a state. The combination of senators and representatives gives the amount of electoral votes for that state, okay? And just real quickly, just for our sake of this conversation, because our listeners, the bulk of our listeners are coming from Michigan mainly. Michigan has 16 electoral votes. Just for your own personal information, FYI, the state of California has 55. They are one of those states that the candidates are going to count on most. However, okay, there are some other states that Paul is going to talk about here in a second, okay, that's very, very important. So just so you know, listeners, each state has a different amount of electoral votes, okay? The state that has the least is tied, I think, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, they only got 3. California has 55, Florida has 29, Pennsylvania has 20, New York has 29, Ohio is 18, and so on and so forth. So real quick, if you notice, these candidates are in the states that have the most electoral votes campaigning. You never hear them over in South Dakota or Wyoming. Not that they're not important, okay, but they're trying to reach the voters in those states that have the most electoral votes. So now, you got the electoral votes and you got the popular vote. This is where we come in. So, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, whoever wins the amount of votes by us when we vote gets those electoral votes. So in other words, if Joe Biden has 4,000, Donald Trump has 3,999. Joe Biden would get those electoral votes for that state. So they'll get 16 from Michigan if they win that state by our vote. That is why our vote counts. Got to get out there and vote. Got to rock your vote, however it is, be it absentee, early voting, going to the polls, rock your vote. And there's some another factor in the decision making as well. Paul's going to talk about that now.
Okay, I'm gonna piggyback before I go to that. I'm gonna piggyback on what brother Logan said, and this is why you can have a situation that has happened with Al Gore against George Bush, and it happened with Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump, where you won the popular vote, but you lost the election because of you didn't get the 270 electoral votes, and it's because it's about what states you win. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. It's about what states you win, and there's something that's called swing states. Okay, I'm gonna explain what swing states are and the importance of these states you getting out to vote. A swing state or battleground state is a state that can be won by either the Democrats or the Republicans, just by a swing of votes or a lack of voting. Swing states have populations that's pretty much divided between Democrats and Republicans. And in these swing states, over the past elections, sometimes the Republicans win it, sometimes the Democrats win the state. Right? This is why presidential candidates, they focus on these states with campaign visits, advertising, and actually setting up offices within these states. Because you got some states out there gonna vote Democrat. Okay, that Republican candidate is not gonna mess with them states because they vote Democrat. Then you got states, that's the red states. If you look at an election, if you look at the map, then you have those red states. Now, if this state is a red state, that Democratic candidate is not really going to campaign too much in that state because it's a fact how that state votes. But in those states where you don't really know if they're going to vote Democrat or Republican, those are the swing states. And I'm going to name them. Arizona. Now, our show is going out to everybody over this country, okay? So it don't have to just be people in Michigan and Ohio. But Arizona is a swing state. Florida is a swing state. We all know Florida was the state that cost Al. North Carolina is constantly in the news. North Carolina is a swing state. We're having issues with Pennsylvania right now. Pennsylvania is a swing state. Wisconsin is a swing state. And one that's dear to me and Brother Logan, Michigan is a swing state. So this is why it's important that you get out and you vote your ticket. I'm not going to tell you if you should be a Republican or a Democrat. I'm not going to tell you that. You can see for yourself. You can make that decision yourself. But regardless of who you want to win or what political party you are, get out to vote. And in these swing states, get there, get to the polls, either vote early or on November 3rd, get there and vote. So I hope that you got a little bit better understanding about what a swing state is and the importance of a swing state and why candidates spend so much time.
As a matter of fact, I think Vice President potential Kamala Harris is going to be in Detroit today, I think, or upcoming this week. Okay. So again, Michigan is a very, very important state. Mike Pence just left Toledo yesterday. So, we're in a home stretch of sorts. And remember, listeners, it's only 270 electoral votes to win to be the president of the United States. 270. Okay. So, I mentioned those other states that are small in number in terms of electoral votes. They count. It might just take one of them, okay, to get one of the candidates over the top. So again, the combination of electoral votes, okay, for that state, your popularity vote, okay, counts towards that electoral number of the states, okay? So again, like Paul said, get out and vote, rock your vote, rock it, which however you do it, in person, absentee. I think you only got a week left for the absentee. Go ahead.
And if the election is going to be contested, the vote is going to be contested in one of those swing states. Because of the population being divided, basically kind of even, it causes for the votes to be very, very close. Okay, so when it come to in those states, a lot of times they go and start to hand count votes. Okay, and so this is why it's so important that if an election is contested, it's going to be based off of the results of swing states.
Yes,
it might not be all of them, but it's going to be one of them. And so when they start to count those votes by hand, all hands on deck. Those votes have to be in, and they have to be correct.
Yes. And also, if you decide to go to the polls in person, make sure you pack your patience. There anticipate record numbers throughout this country. Safety first, again, keep in mind that we're in the middle of this pandemic, and you want to be safe, okay? And my suggestion to you, of course, you got to have your mask. Make sure you wear some gloves. Because remember, when you go vote, okay, it's going to be more than one person at that voting machine. It's going to be before you and after you, okay? So go to Walmart, get you some gloves, disposable gloves. Make sure you wear those gloves and hand
sanitizer. And get a little bottle of spray, because you can spray it down and wipe it down. You can have you a towel, you can spray it and spray it and wipe it down.
And I think too, do they still have those? Did they do away with the pen, sticking the pen? Did they do away with that one? That type of voting? I think they did. I can't remember, but however they got it, be it a pen or whatever, somebody is handling that before you. Make sure you wipe it down. Wear some gloves. That's my suggestion. Okay. And that one did not cost you all anything. That one was for free. Okay, so make sure make sure you have your gloves. Okay, and again, we look forward to what's going to happen. Again, it's nerving and it's exciting at the same time. Okay, and we come on our show here in 2 weeks. There's going to be a president-elect, and we're gonna talk about that, and you're gonna see this on our website again, and we'll let you know what our title is going to be. Right now, it's going to be where do we go from here? That's going to be the title of our next show on November 7th, and we're going to give you the opportunity to call in and give your viewpoint on that, and I will put out the link on our webpage and on our Facebook page and on Twitter and on Instagram as to what that link is, and you can call that in. It's going to be a time and place for you to do that when we go through our segment. So again, we just appreciate. Oh, go ahead, Paul. Okay.
I got one thing to say to the people that's listening. This election is not about us. This election is about the world that your grandkids, great grandkids, is going to be born into or going to grow up in. When you think about your vote playing a part in how life's going to be 10, 20, 30 years down the road, this is what this vote is about. So don't just think about yourself with this vote. Think about that this is going to decide what kind of life your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren going to be born into and grow up in.
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks,
and also, if you all have the opportunity, okay, because we're all at home during this pandemic, okay, and our kids are at home virtually schooling, okay, if at some point, okay, if they're of age and they can understand, okay, teach them about the voting and the right to vote and what people cost their lives for that right, okay. 1965, now, of course, that was 50 years ago or so, all right? But if you really think about it, it really has not been all that long ago to where that voting rights bill was put into law, okay? I mean, yeah, you say, oh, wow, 50 years? Yeah, but, I mean, think about it. It has not really been that long. And people have died for that right, okay? Right. So John Lewis, okay, teach your kids about John Lewis, okay? He was one of the mainstays, okay, in that movement, okay? And what gets me was that voting rights bill that was passed by President Lyndon B. Johnson back then. Women weren't allowed to vote until 1965. They tried. And as you know, when they tried, they were met with some opposition. So teach your kids the history. This is very, very important. And like Paul said earlier, okay, I hate to say this, but I got to say it. This mail and all this stuff with the mail, which we don't hear about anymore because some other things have resurfaced or oversurfaced it. They don't want you to mail your ballot. They don't, and you know what? Don't mail the ballot. Take it straight to the election headquarters. Take it straight to election headquarters and cast it, okay? There's so much going on to suppress the vote, okay? As our vote, nobody has the right to take it away from us. But teach your kids the process of it, okay? And when they get of age, encourage them to vote, okay? I know there's a whole lot of kids out there, this is their first time voting, okay? And you're eligible to vote as of 1971. One more quick history fact. 1971 was the year that allowed 18-year-olds to vote. we have about 5 minutes left here. And Paul, any closing remarks?
Yes. And to go along with what the topics, especially with breast cancer, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is providing information on what women can do to detect breast cancer early, as well as understand their risks and life-related factors that can reduce them. Now, this is very important here. If you are uninsured or know someone who needs help paying for a mammogram, and this is going to be up on our website too, call 1-800 1-844-446-8727. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. 1-844-446-8727. 1-844-446-8727. This is for anyone that's uninsured or have trouble getting a mammogram.
Yes. And also, we also end our show, we also end every show, what we call positive affirmations, okay? We want to end that with that positive affirmation. But if you have any positive affirmation, it can be you get a job promotion, it can be coming out of a health crisis, whatever that you have an affirmation, a testimony as we call it, because I'm a Baptist deacon, we say testimony, okay? We testify. So if you got any testimonies, if you got any positive affirmation, go to our website or better yet, go to our Facebook page. We'll get that. We do have an email address too. Got so much stuff. Our email address is garlandpodcast@hotmail.com. And that's on our website, garlandpodcast@hotmail.com, or go to our website or go to our Facebook page. And if you got a positive affirmation that you want us to announce, we'll be glad to do it on any of our shows again, anything positive, coming out of a health crisis, job promotion, anything that's positive, okay? We'll say it on the air, give you a shout out, but we always end our show with that. So be sure to do that. And our time is just about up. We thank you for yours. This is our first broadcast. We're excited. And just grateful again to bring this to you, and we look forward. And this is not going to be like 1 or 2 shows. This is an ongoing thing, and we're looking for bigger and better things as we go forward. Again, we're going to be branching out to more on the radio side of things, so we'll have the listeners. So that's going to be forthcoming after the first of the year. iHeartRadio. One more time, Paul. What's the other one?
What's in
iHeartRadio?
Oh, you made me forget. No, I'm joking.
iHeart, iTunes.
iHeart and iTunes.
I don't know. I can't, man. I got all these Apple products around here, man. I cannot think of iTunes. I got iTunes up to kazoo. iHeartRadio, iTunes, and then we're looking to branch off into Sirius Radio and that kind of thing. But that's down the road, one step at a time. We thank you all so much for viewing in on us today and listening on us. If you got any questions, go to our website or go to our Facebook page mainly because we're on that right now. Again, it's at Garlan Podcast. That is on our Facebook page. That's all our social media websites. Thanks so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you so much, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, November 7th. Peace. 2 fingers.
Go blue. Go blue. Go Sparty.
Please,
go Lions.
Please.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Peace.